Hello, everyone. Hello, Shailesh. Hello, Minakshi. Hello, Nilima, ma'am. Hello, Ajay. Hello, Yashasvi. How are you guys doing? This is not a webinar module, so if you want to turn on your cameras, you can turn on. If you want to keep your mic on, you can do that same. Yes, Shailesh, excited to learn. Even I am excited to teach here. So I think most of them have joined. Only one more is left. Are you guys able to hear my audio clearly and see the video? Thank you, Yashasvi. Are you guys also able to see the screen? Great. So let's just hold for a minute. Let's see if the other person also joins, and then we can quickly start. It's 8:03. We'll start at 8:05 star sharp. It's 8:04. Just quickly seeing all the settings. Just a second. Yep, it's 8:05, and let's start the 6-day Elementor workshop. Thank you guys for joining into this workshop. Very excited, and I'm pretty sure that you will be learning Elementor and creating a web page designing with Elementor. Okay, so let me just quickly introduce myself. Okay, this is just my third or fourth webinar actually, so I'm not popular like Digital Deepak or Sanjay Shenoy. So let me just quickly introduce. Do I have the permission? Maybe in the chat you can just tell yes or no. I think you can already see the introduction. So yes, I'm an ex-hotel management guy. Okay. Uh, and I created my first website while doing my hotel management. So at that point of time, I didn't know actually that I had a passion towards website designing and development. Then later on, I went ahead and did MBA in marketing. And from there, I joined actually a good limited company in marketing and sales. And there I got in touch with a colleague who was also very similar to me. And we both together came in, and that's how we founded VNet Digital. Okay, VNet Digital is my own company. I'm the co-founder for VNet Digital, and it's a website design development company agency in Mumbai. Okay, so we take care of all the projects and everything. And currently, we have almost done 250 plus projects under VNet Digital banner. Okay, so we undertake websites of hotels, travel industries, uh, you can say all the corporate websites and everything. So around 250 plus projects we have already completed successfully. And domainkharido.com is one of our own baby. Okay, so you can go ahead and purchase domains, hostings, and all those things. So we have created a platform for everyone. So where you can go and check the domains, and it's just like GoDaddy and HostGator and everything. So it's a combination of GoDaddy and HostGator where you get both domains, hostings, website related products, SSL certificates. You get G Suits, okay, just like how you have Jackson at VNetDigital.com. So you have this professional email ID. Similarly, with G Suits, you can go ahead and purchase it. So that's our own baby domain kharido.com. And by heart, I'm a website designer. And if you ask me why this Elementor, why I started this Elementor workshop, so it's just because I had a passion towards website designing. I just, as I told you, during my hotel management days, that was the day when firstly created the a website for my own business. Okay, so that's jprestaurants.weebly.com. So at that point of time, I had used Weebly. Then later on, when I started with VNet Digital and everything, so that's when we came into WordPress and all those things. And we started VNet Digital in 2017, May 2017 to be precise. And from there on, we are totally into VNet Digital, and we have done amazing websites using Elementor. Okay, so that's how I started, and with all the expertise and everything, I started with a 6-day workshop. And in this workshop, are you guys clear till now so far? I mean, everyone is audible and everything, right? Yes, thank you, Meenakshi. So in this 6-day workshop, what we'll be learning is, for every day I have planned out something. So in the day one, we'll just learn what is Elementor and how it works. Day two, we'll learn design a WordPress page with Elementor. So those who wants to create a page totally custom designed. So we'll see that. Day three, we'll see how you can go ahead and create a custom header with Elementor, because most of the times what happens is the header that you get uh, is the themes header, which is very default and which looks very ugly with all the custom page that you've created. So we'll see how you can create a custom header. Day four, we'll see how you can create a custom footer for the Elementor with Elementor. And day five, you will see how to create a landing page for Elementor. I'm pretty sure that most of you have already seen the landing page that I had designed for this particular workshop. And most of you had visited that landing page and saw the overall flow and everything. So we'll see how to create such a landing page with Elementor so that you can market your own products or services in the future. So we'll see that. And day six is how to create pop-ups with Elementor. So you see different pop-ups throughout the websites, right? So you get pop-ups like subscription type of pop-up, you get lead generation pop-ups, you get free ebook kind of pop-ups and everything. So all those things we'll see in this 6-day workshop. Okay. So shall we start day one? Give me a yes or no, guys. Is everyone sleeping? Yes. Yashasvi says, let's start. What about others? Hey guys, let's make this a little bit interactive. If you want to turn on your mic and want to say something, you're very much free to do that. And you can also start your videos if you want. This is not a webinar kind of a thing where it's just one side talking. It's a kind of a workshop. You can always keep on go and ask doubts and questions. You can stop me anywhere if you want, if it's not clear. Hey, hi, Nilima ma'am. Yeah. So Ajay, Sailesh, Yashasvi all say it's let's start, please start. So let's go ahead and start. What is Elementor and how it works? So I'm pretty sure you have already, since you already know about WordPress, you know about Elementor a bit. At least you have heard about that, right? So what is an Elementor? So now since we are all a part of HIT SEO, we all have created articles. We have already written 3 to 4 articles, and we have used the normal classic editor or the Gutenberg kind of an editor to uh, edit and change the colors, fonts, use the H2 tags, add images, everything. But that's very tedious, right? Because you are not able to see what is the actual live picture that is being shown on the front end. So that is the main reason, and that's how Elementor came into this picture somewhere in 2018, in this 2017, 2018, with to solve this problem, because they have created a front end kind of a editing software. What it will show is whatever you do the edits, you can see it live just next to it. So let me just show you the next slide. So Okay, so what are the points that will be covered in day one is what is Elementor and its pro version? Can I use Elementor with any theme? How to install? And how does Elementor page builder work actually? Okay, so Elementor, just like as I told you, Elementor is a page builder kind of a thing. It started with a page builder. Right now it is just like a website builder. It's not just a page builder, it's totally a website builder kind of a thing, because you can customize your header, footer, your blog page, your archive pages, everything that is available under WordPress can be customized with Elementor in today's date. So what's the difference between Elementor and Elementor Pro? For a basic to medium user, Elementor free is very much good. And what the features that are provided is very much good enough for all the basic to medium users, because most of the things are already covered. In the pro version, what is additional that you get is you get additional features like you get custom headers and footers provided by Elementor itself. You get custom pop-ups and everything, and you get a lot of templates already available with them, which you can directly put, and that becomes very ease of use because you just have to do some edits, change a picture, change a title, and change the button link or everything. So that makes it very easy. So that's the major difference between Elementor and the Elementor Pro. Just some version, some features are more in Elementor Pro. But in this course, in this workshop, what I will show you is even if you don't have WordPress Elementor Pro, still you can do everything. You can even put custom headers, custom footers, everything with just the normal free version of Elementor. Okay, there is no prerequisite or compulsory rule that you have to do. You have to have Elementor Pro with you, and only then you will be able to do this course. Okay. So second is, can I use Elementor with anything? Okay. So Elementor can be used with most of the themes nowadays, which is available. Okay, there are very few themes which doesn't support Elementor. Okay, those themes mostly support the other page builders. The other page builders are like WP Bakery, or you can say Brizzy, okay, or Divi. So all these are different page builders, okay, which are competitors of Elementor. But I'm using almost from Elementor from last 3.5 years. So I never felt that you should go with any other thing, and I think that Elementor is one of the best page builders available in the market right now, and with their progress and with the kind of features that they are bringing, it's just amazing. Okay, so now how to install Elementor is the third thing. Now this is very basic, installing via WordPress dashboard and installing via file from your local computer. Okay, now since in the HIT SEO program as well, you have seen how to install a plugin, right? Let me just quickly jump into the dashboard. Okay, so what I have done is I have just quickly uh, got a WordPress website. This is an empty website. Nothing is there. No plugins, nothing. Just an empty, a fresh website. Okay, I've just installed Astra and Astra Pro. Okay, as a theme. Apart from that, nothing has been installed. So I'm at the scratch. So what we'll now first do is we'll first see how to install Elementor. Okay, so it's very easy. Go to plugins, click on add new. Okay, and once you click on add new, you can just go and type and search Elementor, and it will go and fetch the Elementor plugin for you. So right now you can see initially they used to mention over here Elementor page builder, but just like how I told you, now they are not just a page builder, they are totally a website builder, and everything happens in drag and drop. So you can go ahead and install it from here and click on activate so that it activates. So this is one method. The other method is you can go ahead and click on upload plugin, and you can go ahead and choose the file that is there in your local computer. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose. So what I've done is I've downloaded the Elementor and Elementor Pro. Okay, so you get two files basically, Elementor. So Elementor free version is directly available from the WordPress directory that is from here. But the Elementor Pro version, you have to download it from their website. Okay, when you go ahead and sign up with them, you go ahead and take a package with them, sign up for any of the one of the plans they have. They give you a zip file that is like this Elementor Pro with the version number. So you have to install both of these to for it to activate. Okay, so first I'll go ahead and activate the free version. Okay, you can do it from here, or you can do it using this method. Once you click on install, you get an activate option. Activate the free version. Then you go ahead and click on add new, click on upload plugin, and choose the other Elementor Pro version. Okay, so you can go ahead and install this as well. And you can see activate plugin. Now, when you go ahead and see under here, there will be two more options that would be shown. That is, one is Elementor and one is templates. And under Elementor, here in the license, it should show as active, and it should show your the license key. So that means it's valid. Okay. Now let's quickly jump back. So we have already seen how to install Elementor plugin, the free version as well as the pro version, right? So now next is, how does Elementor page builder work? Because that's the main question that everyone has. And with the kind of response I had through that my customer research, I knew that many of the users over here are very much basic or towards they don't know actually how Elementor works. So Elementor is basically works in a drag and drop function. So if you can just see the GIF file that is happening over here, okay. So if you see the left hand side, okay, there is a left hand side and there is a right hand side in this Elementor panel, okay. The right hand side shows the actual live screen, that's what every customer sees, and towards the left hand side you have a widget panel. And in that widget panel, you have many options over there. What you have to do is you have to just drag and drop to the right hand side. Okay. Now, there are some names that you need to keep in mind. Okay. So let me just quickly go back to the site. Okay. Let's go ahead and click on add new. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add a page and give a name to it. Let's say Elementor. Now, this is the normal editor, right? Whatever you type over here, this is normal Gutenberg editor. So this we have already done through the post that we have posted in the in our HIT SEO program, right? So that was the post. So whenever we have to create any page, okay, what you can do is you can go to pages, click on add new, and similarly you will here you will have the page title. Okay, once you enter the title, you can click on edit with Elementor. Now this is a new option that you get once you install the Elementor plugin. So click on edit with Elementor and it will take you to the Elementor's front end editing. Okay, so once it loads up, okay, now this is the actual thing that you will see. Now here on the left hand side, just as showed in the image, there is a widget panel and there is a editing area. Okay, just so there is a widget panel towards the left and there is a on the right hand side there is a editing area. Now what you need to understand is, now there are two buttons over here, right? A pink color button and a gray color button. So a pink color button says add new section and a gray color button shows you add a template, right? So over here, so which says add new section and a template. Now what is a section, right? Now this, what is a section is a very basic question what you need to understand, because there are three things in Elementor what you need to understand. That is, what is a section, what is a column, and what is an inner section actually. Okay, so first let us see what is a section and what is a column. Okay, so when I go ahead and click on this plus button, it asks for to select your structure. Okay, right? So here there are one block, there are two blocks, there are three blocks. So if you say, for example, let's click on any one of these. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the second one. Now, the blue line that you see over here, the border. Now this whole border is called as a section. Okay, here in this image also you can see. Can you see the image, the PPT and the image? Oh, Ajirana says, can you go full screen? Okay, just a second. Ajay, are you able to see? So in this, just a second. In this, there is a section which says the blue borders are sections, and whatever is inside the gray border thing, okay, those are called as columns. Okay, so So what we have done over here is we have created a section with two columns. The blue bar that you see towards the end, the borders, that's a section. Inside there are two columns. So similarly, I can create as many as sections as I want. So just click on the plus button. You can choose what is the type of column. So inside here, what you see over here, these are the columns. So this is a 4-column section. This is a 3-column section. Now the one below here, it's again a 3-column section, but the middle column is actually a little bit broader, right? So let me just quickly put both of those, right? So if you see this particular section, which I have selected right now, where you can see the blue border, inside this you have 3 columns, and all 3 are of equal width and equal size. But if you see the one above this, so that's the one which I've selected now. In this, there are 3 columns, but the middle column is actually a little bit broader. So that depends on your actually what is the kind of design that you want to create and everything. Okay. So I'm pretty sure now you guys have understood what is a section and what is a column, right? Any doubts so far in this? No, crystal clear. Okay. So now once you know what is a section and what is a column, the next thing what you have to understand is how does the sections work, right? So now here, if you see, when you click now the 3 buttons that you see on the top of this, okay, so whenever you hover on any particular section, you can click on that buttons, okay, and you will be able to control that particular section. Okay, so when I click on this blue on the left hand side, now instead of the widget panel, okay, initially it was something like this, right? You could see all your widgets. So there are different widgets now. The options that you see on the left hand side, so it says inner section, it says heading, it says image, text editor, all these are called as widgets, right? So now these widgets, what you can do is you can actually drag and drop and put it inside the columns. Okay, when you drag and drop it towards the right hand side, you can actually create a widget inside a column. So what you have to always remember is you can't drag any particular widget and put it in a section. Okay, you can only drag a widget and put it inside any particular column. That's the rule number 1. Okay, you can't put any widget inside sections. You have to put it inside columns. Okay, and when you click on top of this, you can actually over here 3 different settings. Okay, so one says layout, one says style, and the other is advanced. So there are 3 types of settings available for this particular section. Okay, similarly for each column, okay, now the for to control the section, you have to click on this blue buttons, okay, for that particular section. So for example, if you want to control this particular section, you have to click on this particular uh, 6 dots, okay, on top of that section. So then the settings for that particular section will be shown over here. Now similarly, you have different settings for each column as well. So to get the options for column, you have to click on this gray button, a window button over here. Okay, similarly you can hover on any particular column and click on that particular gray button on the left hand side, and you will get options for that particular column. Okay, now we'll see in detail what are the different options that is available. Now apart from the settings of the section and the column settings, you also get separate settings for the widget as well. Okay, when you Now here there is a pencil icon for this particular widget. When you click on this pencil icon, the blue pencil icon, so here you will get settings for that particular widget. Okay. Now, so far so clear. So now you understood, right? How you can create a section and how you can create multiple sections in your page, right? And you can go ahead and create different columns as per your website design. Okay. And what is the design that you want? Say, for example, now what uh, in this particular section, in this 3 column, after maybe some time you feel that you want to add one more column to this particular section, what you can always do is you can hover on any particular column and just do a right click on that. Okay. Now, when you do right click on that particular column settings, you get options like duplicate, add new column, copy, paste, etc. Okay. Now, what you have to right now do is add new column because we wanted one more column. So instead of this 3 column section, we wanted to make it a 4 column section. So you can just right click on any one and click on add new column. When you click on add new column, a new column would be created just next to that. Okay. Say for example, let me just put an icon. Just for your reference, let me just, so there are 4 icons in this columns, right? So these are the 4 icons are different widgets in this particular column and in this particular sections, right? Say for example, and now I want to go ahead and create a new column next to this square icon. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just click on this column settings and click on add new column. So on the right hand side, a new column would be created. Now, say for example, you by mistakenly created this, you can also go ahead and click on that settings and you can also delete it as well. Okay, so on the right click, you get a number of options. Now there is also another option which says duplicate. Okay, now duplicate means it will duplicate this particular column and the widgets inside that column. So in this particular column, there is a square icon, right? So if I right click on this and click on duplicate, what it will do is on the right hand side, it will create a new column with all the same widgets inside that. Okay. So if it had say like something like this, okay, icon and a text or a heading, when you right click on this and click on duplicate, it will duplicate all the items towards right. Okay. Now these were the settings or the right hand side settings available for the column. Now these settings are available for the section as well. Okay. Now when you right click on this particular 6 dots, you get a similar kind of option. You can either duplicate option. So when you click on duplicate, what will happen is it will duplicate the whole section, columns and the widgets. Okay. So let's go ahead and check it. So here you can go ahead and duplicate. Now when you click on duplicate, what it will do is it will create a new column below the existing one with all the columns, all the widgets and all the settings that you have done for that particular uh, section. Okay. Similarly, if you still want to go ahead and create new sections, you always have an option of this plus button. You can go ahead and click and choose this options. Okay. So far so good. Any questions so far? Or anything you didn't understand about sections, columns, and the right click?
So Jackson, Shailesh here.
Yeah, hi Sailesh, tell me.
One question. So do we start like doing a pencil wireframe or something to start with? And
Yes, yes,
then this
yes.
is
Yes, actually
any
Elementor,
tool,
how
any online tool, anything that we can use to make that wireframe, or we just do it with pencil on a paper?
the best thing would be pencil and paper because that's what we also follow. Otherwise, there are many other softwares available in the internet. So one best software that is available is Adobe Figma. But then what you'll have to do is,
It's a free tool.
no, no,
It's
it's
a
not a
Adobe tool, so
free
it
tool.
won't be a free.
No, it's not
Okay,
a
okay.
free tool.
Any other free tool or something?
Let me check. I'll get back to you on that. Okay.
No problem. No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So if so mostly what we do is we plan it in our minds or we put it on pen and paper and we just go ahead and create that kind of a design. Okay, so for those who don't know actually what is a wireframe, let me just show you an image. Just a second. Let me stop share screen. Are you guys able to see the image? Okay, let me just zoom it. So this is something called as a wireframe, okay, where you go ahead and decide or create an image kind of a thing, where you decide, okay, this is how the header looks like with a box button and everything, and there should be a heading over here, and there should be a text below the heading, and there should be a button, a book and appointment button. So when you decide all the colors and all uh, the overall page look, how it looks like, so that's basically a wireframe for you guys. So this need not you do it in Adobe Figma and everything. You can always just put it in pen and paper, that how it looks like roughly, and you can go ahead and create it in Elementor. Now that's the best thing about Elementor, because you can always go ahead and see what is that you are creating, even if you have a rough idea on those. Okay, so I think Neelima ma'am also had asked the same question. So is it clear, ma'am? Okay, and Meenakshi says, can you please show how duplicated the entire section? Yes, surely. Okay, let me just quickly share the screen. Okay, so when you go ahead and right click on the section, so you have to choose any particular section. Say for example, you want to, let's go ahead and delete this. Okay, so say for example, Meenakshi, you wanted to uh, duplicate this particular section. Just click on this 6 dots and you can do a right click over there, and you have an option over here to duplicate. Okay, so you can go ahead and duplicate it, and once you click on duplicate, it will go ahead and duplicate all the columns, section, everything, etc. Okay, when you click on the plus button, it actually gives you an option to create a new section above this particular section. Okay, say for example, you want to create a new section between the empty section and this particular section with all the icons. So what you can just do is click on this plus icon, click again on this add new section thing, and choose the kind of uh, structure that you want. Okay, and a new uh, section would be created on top of that when you click on this plus. So when you click on plus, it actually creates on top of that particular section, and if you click something the plus button below this, then it will be created below that particular section. Okay, so that's about how the sections, columns, and their right click options. Okay, now apart from this, okay, what you also need to understand is in the left hand side panel towards the end. Okay, in there is a something called as Navigator. Okay, now when you click on this Navigator option, now here you will be able to see what are the different sections that is available, or what are the different sections that you have already created in this particular page. Okay, so if you can just see here in this particular page, we have created 1 2 3 4 5 6 particular sections. So even if you click on that, that particular section will get highlighted. If you click on the second, it will get highlighted. So this Navigator makes it very easy to browse through your whole landing page, because say for example, if you have created a landing page with almost 20-25 sections, you have testimonials, you have contact forms, you have pricing section, you have uh, so many different sections. And if you want to just quickly glimpse through all these different sections, you always have this option. As well as you can if you click on this, the arrow mark which is next to this towards the left hand side of this particular section, it also shows you how many columns are there in that particular section. And if you again click on that arrow, it also shows you how many widgets are there in that particular column. Say for example, in this particular section, okay, you can click on this arrow. It shows you. Let's just in this particular section. Once you click, it shows you, okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number of columns. And if you open any one column, it will show you how many icons are there in that particular column. Say, for example, the third column. So here in this third column, see, when you click on this column as well, it will automatically get highlighted over here. Okay. Say, for example, you're clicking on icon, so it will get highlighted. And you can also see the kind of settings available for this particular widgets or the column or the sections. Okay. So far, so good. Can you just say yes or clear something in the chat so I know? Okay. So now we have already seen what is the usage of sections, right? So we can create different sections depending on the wireframe that we have already have it in our mind or we have it in our paper, right? Now, apart from that, you have also seen what are the different usage of the columns, right? So also what I want to show over here is now for each column, okay, now when you click on this section, say for example, I just go ahead and create a new section of 3 columns. Okay, now when you create a default section like this, and when there is a 3 columns, it automatically takes the column width as 33%, actually 33.33%. So this whole section, I mean the width of this section is 100%. Okay, and if there are 3 columns, so the default width of these columns will be 33.33%. Say for example, if you have a 2 column section, okay, so the default width of these columns will be 50%, 50%. So this column will be 50%, this column will be 50%, because together we want to make this whole section a 100% thing. Okay, now when you also have an option, okay, when you just hover towards the border of this, okay, you see the cursor changes to something a width kind of a cursor. You can just hold and drag and change the size as well. Okay, were you guys able to see that? So let me just show you quickly once more. Let's click on 3 column. Now when I go ahead and now my cursor is something like this. When I go ahead to the border, it shows you a new kind of an width icon, the mouse cursor. Now you can see the default is 33.33. Now when I just drag towards the right, the left hand side columns width increases from 39 to 40, etc. So here you can also play around with like this. Say for example, you want to create something. Let's go ahead and create a particular thing. So in this 2 column, the right hand side column I want it as 70%, and the second column I want it as something like 30%. So here what I'll do is I'll click on this plus icon and add a heading, as well as what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add a text editor. Okay, and on the right hand side column, I'll just go ahead and add an image. So if you want to create something like this, you can use this particular columns and change the width as well. Okay, so you can just drag and drop. Even if you don't want to drag and drop, what you can always do is, now when you click on this, say for example, you want to change the width of this particular column. Okay, so click on this column settings, and here under layout, okay, here you will get an option as the column width percentage. Okay, so here you can go ahead and increase that. So here on the right hand side, you will be able to see the live editing as well, how it will be shown to your customers as well, right? Okay, so I hope it's clear how you can change the width of the columns. Okay, now this particular changing the width is not available for sections. Okay, for sections, what is available is something called as boxed width and a full width. Okay, so there are two widths actually that is available on every website. So if you see, let's go ahead and see this website. Okay, this is my own website. So in this website, now everything that you see, it's towards from end to end, right? So that means this is a full width website. Okay, so the coloring, everything goes till from end to end. Now if you see a different website, maybe let me just show you a different website. Okay, so maybe in this if you see, there is a lot of blank space available on the left and towards the right. So this is actually a boxed width website. Okay, so here you have an option to set for each section. Actually, for each section you will get an option on the left hand side whether that particular section you want it as a boxed width or a full width. Okay, and when you click on full width, it will, now here if you see, the columns have touched towards the extreme left and towards the extreme right. Right, now if you click on boxed, here you can see there is a white space which is left on the left and right. Okay, so this is what you can control for each particular section. Now that is one of the best advantages of Elementor. So that is why we could create something like this also. Okay, we could create from where it starts and where it ends, etc, etc. Okay, so here for each section you have an option called as box width and full width. So these are the only two settings that is available for uh, the sections. Okay, either box width or full width. For columns, you have something called as percentage wise, where you can go ahead and fix it. If you want to change for each column, you can go ahead and change, or you can use the drag and drop method. Okay, now that's how you can use the columns as well, where you can go ahead and drag and drop everything. Now, apart from this, you have already seen what is widgets, right? So on the top, there is a 9 button thing. Once you click on this, all the widgets that is available for you will be seen over here. Now, when you have only have uh, just the Elementor, you will only see the widgets that is available for the free Elementor. When you add Elementor Pro, you get additional widgets like this, where you get animated headlines and everything. Say, for example, you want something like this, or you want some different design, you get all these kind of additional features or additional widgets actually with Elementor Pro. Now, even if you don't have Elementor Pro, what you can always do is there are different add-on plugins available. uh, you can just go to plugins and click on add new, and once you click on add new, there you can get just type in the search bar, you can type Elementor add-ons. So once you type Elementor add-ons, you will see different add-on plugins that is available. Okay, one good add-on plugins is essential add-ons for Elementor, or you can also go for premium add-ons for Elementor. So with those additional plugins, you will get these kind of widgets, additional widgets in your widget panel. Okay, now say for example you wanted something like star rating, you can just drag and drop whatever it is. And now let's get into content style and advance. Okay, now so far, what, just a quick recap. So far what we have seen is we have seen sections. Now you know sections are these blue, the whole thing which you see in blue is sections. Now inside sections you have columns. Now you can add multiple columns or delete columns. You can just right click on that settings and delete. Right, so now this is a section with one column. If you want additional columns, you can just click on add new column, and that you will be able to add new columns. Right, now here you can go ahead and click on this button, the widget panel button, and here you will get all the different widgets available for your website. You just have to drag, click on those widgets, just drag and drop it in whatever column that you want. Okay, now when you drag and drop this, here you will get options like content style and advance. Now these options are available for all the widgets, for all the column settings, layout, style and advance, as well as for the section as well, layout, style and advance. Okay, now first let's go ahead and check the settings for this particular button. So you can just click on this edit button. So here on the left hand side, you will see options called as content, style, and advanced. Now here under content, you can go ahead and change your text basically. So instead of click here, maybe you can say submit now. Okay. Here you can go ahead and mention, say for example, you can put the link. Say for example, maybe I want to put my own uh, website link. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and paste the link, right? Now here under link options, you also get whether you want this to be whenever some user comes and clicks on this particular button, and whether that should open in the same window or a new window, or whether you want a no follow or follow kind of a link, etc. Okay. And what is the alignment that you want, whether you want it center aligned or right aligned, or you want it justified so that it takes the overall shape of the column, right? You can also control these sizes, small, medium, large, etc. Right? So all okay, Nirima ma'am, what is no followers? I think this can be better explained by Sanjay in the next in the next video, because that is something related to SEO. Okay, so basically there is something called as link juice and everything. So whatever is the what you can say, I'm not a that expert in SEO, but this is something related to SEO, and Sanjay can help you in this no follow kind of a thing. What is a no follow? And you will understand it in the next coming lectures. Okay, let's focus on Elementor, because that's why I also joined HIT SEO, so that I could also learn it. Okay, and okay, let's get back to Elementor. Now, when you click on this, so these are the different settings that you get for content. Okay, and whether that's a medium, so you can control the sizes as well, or if you want to uh, add a icon or something, you can just click on this. Say maybe you want something like arrow to be added towards the end. Now, whether you want it before or after. Now, all these settings are what you will have to sit and practice. Okay, only then you will also understand. Now, if you want a custom icon to be shown over here, maybe you have created a SVG icon by yourself, or your graphic designer has created it for your website. You can also go ahead and upload that well as well for your buttons and everything. So there is an option as well where you can upload SVG file. SVG file is just like for images, how you have PNG, JPEG. So similarly for icons, you have SVG file. Okay. Now also you can control the positioning and everything. So that's all about the content. And in style, you get options of color, typography, and all those settings. Yeah, there are many free sites for SVG actually. So you have fontawesome.com. You have there are many tools. I'll show you how what are the different tools. Just check. I'll share you some of the links, okay, where you can get different uh, SVG icons and everything. Okay, just remind me in the group after this session, so I'll share that all those links. So SVG is basically icons. So how you have this icon after the submit now, there's an arrow icon. So similarly, if you want a custom icons, okay, you can get it designed from your graphic designer, and that file type will be in SVG. Okay, so there are many different sites. Now here you already have an icon library under Elementor. Okay, once you click on this, so in Elementor, they have tied up with Font Awesome. Okay, Font Awesome is one of the websites which provides uh, icons. So they have tied up with Font Awesome. That's why you can see all the Font Awesome icons under this icon library. Okay, so if you don't want this, or if you want it from a different website, you can always go ahead and upload. What you have to do is go to that particular website, just download the SVG file, whatever is the icon that you want, and you can just click on this upload button and click on enable, and just upload it to your media library and just select that file, and you will be able to add that SVG file or that icon to this button. Okay. Now, apart from this, uh, contents and everything, you also get options for styling of this particular button. Now, whether you want to change the background color, okay, Say for example, you wanted red or pink or whatever you want, or purple. So you can just go ahead and choose whatever is the color. If you want to change the text color, you also have an option to change the text color as well, right? So all those options you get under styling. So styling always for each thing, whether be it any widget or anything related to your columns or sections. Under styling, you will always have options of typography, shadow, border, anything related to the styling of that particular column, section, or widgets. Okay, so this is the settings for this particular widget, the button widget. So you're getting the typography option. Under typography, you will have always have option to choose the various kind of fonts that is available. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose one. Say maybe I want a Montserrat font. Okay, so here also you can see the preview how that font looks like. So you can go and change the font. Okay, you can control the size, right? Say for example, I want to keep it 20, and whether you want to change the font weight. Okay, say for example 600, whether you want to change it to uppercase or lowercase, whatever, you can always do that. And you can go ahead and customize each thing, style, your decoration, whether you want an underline, overline. You can also control the letter spacing and the line heights and everything. Okay, so all these options are available. Weight is basically how the thickness of the font. Okay, uh, what is the font thickness? Okay, so for example, if I choose maybe 100, you can see the submit now button is very thin. The thickness of the borders and everything of that particular font is very thin. And if you make it something like 800, it becomes very bold enough, or the thickness increases. So there are various levels. Okay, maybe if you liked some website. Okay, so there is, say for example, you want to know the font or the weight of this particular any website's font. What you can do is you can go ahead and install a extension of Chrome that's called as what font. So when you click on this what font, it gives you an option, and you can know for any website what is the font they are using, what is the weight, what is the size, what is the line height, and what is the color of that font. Okay, so you can check it for any website you want. Even if you want to go and check for Deepak's website or Sanjay's website, you can go ahead and check any website. So it will show you what is the color. Now you might think this is a black color, but now here it's not exactly black. It is somewhere in a gray shade. So we'll come to know what are the different styles, size, line heights, and everything. Okay, so you can use this what font kind of an extension to know what are the different fonts used by good websites, and you can use the same similar fonts and sizing all over here. Okay, now if you want to give some text shadow and everything, you can give some shadows and everything as well. Okay, so if you don't want, you can just revert back it to default. Okay, now there are always two settings that is available for most of the widgets. That is what happens on normal mode and what happens on hover mode. Hover mode means when someone hovers, takes the cursor to that button. Okay, now the normal mode says the font text color is black and the background color is something in purple or violet or something. So in hover mode, you can just go ahead and change. Say maybe you keep it white, and maybe you can put it red. So when someone takes the cursor, it from the default purple and black, it changes to red and white. Okay, so you can do these settings over here under normal and hover. Okay, also you can give some hover animation as well, where you can go ahead and choose. Say if someone goes, now I have chosen the grow animation. If someone takes the cursor to the button, it grows a bit. Or if you want a pulse option, it will keep on animating like this. Okay, so these are the different hover animations that is available. Okay, similarly, if you want some borders for your uh, buttons, you can go ahead and choose that. You can increase the width. Now what you have to understand over here is there is a button over here. Okay, you will see this button most frequently in most of the settings over here, something in width and border radius. Okay, now what this option does is, now when I click on one, it is actually increasing for all the sides, right? Top, right, bottom, left. When I make it say like 20, it increases everywhere. So this is actually linking the values together. Okay. Now, if I click on this, it will delink the value. Then I'll get an option to customize for each side. Say maybe I want something like this. Top and bottom, I want 10. And on the right and left, I want it as 20. Or maybe on the right and left, I want it as 50. Okay. So to do some custom settings, you have to delink the values together. Now you can always go ahead and do revert the changes as well. So you can click on this and it will go back to the same 10, or you can go ahead and change it. Okay. So this you can use it. Now, apart from that, you also have an option to change the color of the border. Okay. Also, you have something called as border radius. Border radius is basically the curved edges. Okay. Now this box has a normal rectangular box. So if I just go ahead and increase the border radius, you'll be able to see now the borders are turning into a circle kind of a thing, right? So that's under border radius. Similarly, you can go ahead and give a shadow for the box as well. And now on the top you saw that is text shadow, and the bottom you have a box shadow. Now whatever is this full box, it will have a shadow. Okay. And apart from that, you have something called as padding. Okay. I'll be not touching padding today. Okay. We'll see it in the next classes, because padding is something a very broader thing. So far what we have seen is the settings of this particular button or this particular widget, right? Similarly, you have settings for columns and the section as well. So you have to click on this particular edit column button, and similarly you can just see over here what is the you can go ahead and change the column width, right? You can change the vertical alignment. The vertical alignment is, say for example, let me just show you. Okay, just a second, guys. Okay, let's say now I clicked on this particular column settings. Okay, and click on layout. Now what will happen over is, now the default is it comes in the middle of this particular column. Okay, the widgets that are available in that particular column will come in the middle. But say for example you want to show it on the top, you can always go ahead and choose it as the on the top as well. Or if you want to show it on the middle or bottom, you can always go ahead and choose it as well. Okay. Now similarly you also have settings for, hello, are you guys able to hear me? I think the net just dropped. Okay. Okay, so similarly, just like the settings we done for this particular widget, similarly you have settings for column, and here you can go ahead and play around with vertical alignment, horizontal alignment, uh, what is the tag that you want to give. Okay, now in the HIT SEO sessions, we saw tags, something called as H1, H2, H3, and all those things, right? Similarly, for all the other sections and everything, you can also use these kind of tags. Okay, now here you don't have h1 h2 because this is not a text. Okay, wherever you are editing text, say for example I'm editing this particular text editor, here you have an option whether this particular text is a h1 or h2 or h3 or h4. But for columns, you have something options called as something like this: div, header, footer. Now header and footer obviously will be using it for the header and footer. Okay, otherwise for all the other things you can always use div. Okay, and for sections you can use section, so that the SEO spiders crawlers knows that this is a particular section and this is are the columns and everything. Okay, and apart from that you also have styling settings. Okay, now under styling settings you have options of background, border, and typography. Now this background, border, and typography is for this particular column which is highlighted over here. Okay, now say for example I want to give a background for this particular column. So what I'll do is I'll click on background, click on normal. Now there are three options available. One is classic, one is gradient, and one is slideshow. So under classic you have an option to either choose the direct color, whatever is the color that you want, or you can also put the hex code over here. Say just like if you want something called as black, you can always put 0, 000, or if you want something in white, you can put triple F, right? So whatever is the color that you want, you can also pick or put directly the color. Say for example, if you wanted an image background that should be shown on the background of the button, you can also go ahead and choose the image as well. Say for example, let's go ahead and choose one. Let's choose this. Okay. So if you see, I have chosen an image which is shown in the background of that particular column. Okay. Similarly, you can go ahead and put a new background in this particular column as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and edit this. Now, here you can also control the position of that particular image. Okay. Whether that image needs to be repeated or not. Now, here you have an option called as scroll or fixed. Now, this is for a particular effect to be created. Now, let's preview this. Now, when I scroll this particular page, okay, this image stays with the page, right? This image is actually moving towards the top, right? There is no particular effect that is happening. But if I click on this column settings, and here if I choose it as fixed, okay, now when I scroll back, you can see that the image is not moving actually. It is there, but only the button is actually moving. Are you able to see that? So when you do practice, you will understand this. You can see it for yourself. Okay, you just have to click on the column settings or the section settings. Just go to the background and choose an image. And here you can go and choose fixed option. Okay, so fixed is actually it shows a parallax effect for your website. Okay, now apart from that, you also have an option of gradient. Okay, say for example, you want to give a gradient feel of two colors and everything. You have that option. You can choose two different colors. What is the color that you want? And you can also control the location. You can control the location for both the colors actually. Okay, you can control the angle. Okay, and you can choose the type, whether this is a linear gradient or a radial gradient. Radial gradient is it comes from the center. Linear is something from left to right or right to left. Okay, so all these options you will be able to see. Similarly, here also you have the options, right? We just saw it in this button, what is normal and what is hover. So similarly, again, you can go ahead and change or give a new color or such. Okay, maybe. Okay, so something like this. So whenever someone hovers on that particular column, the background colors and everything changes out. Okay, so these are the different settings available for the columns. Okay, similarly, you can go ahead and check this different settings. Background overlay is something similar to background. Okay, overlay is mostly used when you have text written. Okay, if that text is not visible because of the background, so at that point of time you can use an overlay so that your text is highlighted. Okay, similarly, you can use borders. Now this border option is for that particular column. Okay, and you can also control the border radius. So if you want a curved radius for that particular column, you can use that border radius option. You can also use the option of typography. So if you set the typography over here in this column settings, so whatever widgets is available in that particular column will follow the settings of here. Or what you can do is you can go to each widgets and give the different settings as per your design and everything. Okay, now we have already seen the button settings. We have seen the column settings, layout and style, right? I'm not actually not showing advanced for today, okay, because that's very deep and we'll see it in the coming lectures, in the coming days. We'll see what are the different options available in advanced and how you can use that, okay? And don't worry, I'll show you. Okay, and yes, can we change the height of a section? Shailesh, yes, you can do that. So that's what where I'm coming to. So now, so far what we have seen is we have seen the settings of this widgets. Okay, we have seen the settings of this column. Now we'll see what are the different settings available for the section, right? So when you click on this particular six dots, you will get the settings and you can control the section. So here we have already seen what is a box width and what is a full width, right? So here you can just see the difference. When I click on box width, there is a white space towards the end. And if I click on full width, it just sticks till the end, right? Here you can see the preview as well. Now, let's go ahead and click on settings. Now, when you click on box width, you also have an option to control what should be the width of your website or what should be the width of that particular section actually. Okay. So the default when you choose boxed is the default is 1140. That's the default Elementor sets to your website. Even if you don't type 1140, the default is 1140 when you choose boxed. Okay. Now only if you go ahead and choose 800, it will show you that particular size, or you can also drag or slide from here and choose the settings that you want. Okay. It's mostly recommended that you follow the same uh, either a box width layout or a full width layout for the overall website. Okay, that gives you uniformity in your design. Okay, now apart from that, you also have columns gap. Okay, now here you can just see this columns gap is the gap between these two columns in that particular section. Now there is one column over here. There are two columns in this particular section, right? So if you choose no gap, there would not be any particular gap. Or if you choose extended or wide, you can see the gap over there. Now there is a minute gap on top of this. You see there is a dotted line over here of the column. On top of that, there is a minute gap. Now, when I click on no gap, you can see that it will stick to it. Let me just show you an example. Let me just add a color so that you will understand. Okay. Now, when you go ahead and choose the settings, okay. Now, if you see, I have chosen no gap. So that is the reason this has sticked to the top. When I this particular widget. Now, when I click on default, now there is a small, a very minute gap between the widget and the column. This you can go ahead and do a practice as well. You can just hover on your own websites and just see later. Okay. When you click on narrow, you will see there is a very thin narrow. Okay. When I hover on this widget, there is a very thin gap on top of the widget and in between the column. Okay. Similarly, you can also see now when I choose wider, there is a very big gap. Okay, so these are column gaps. You can control these column gaps, whether you want no gap or whether you want small gap, or you can put a default one. The default one, it has around 5 pixel gap. Okay. Now, apart from this, as Shailesh asked right now, you can control the height of each section. Okay. Now here you all have a default option. The default option means it will by default take the height of the widgets that is available. If you add more number of widgets uh, inside your columns, it will take the height of that particular uh, column or widgets. Now, apart from this, you have an option over here that is minimum height. So minimum height, when you choose minimum height, you can go ahead and choose the height that you want. Okay. If you want a bigger kind of a section, you can go ahead and create a bigger section. So for example, say for example, you want 500 pixel height. Okay. Now this is much necessary and useful when you have created a banner for your website. Say for example, you have created 2-3 slides for your website and this that banner's image size is 500. So at that point of time, you can go ahead and create a particular section with a height of 500, and you can go to style and choose that banners as your slideshow over here, so that it will perfectly align and it will be very much in accordance and it will be very good to view. Okay, so there are three options. Default one is as per the size of the as per the number of widgets that is available inside the column. Minimum height you have already seen, that is you can control whatever is the height that you want. Now apart from this, you have something called as fit to screen. Okay, now fit to screen means it will take the size of that screen. Okay, now if you see, that's my screen size is this, right? There is a blue over here and there is a blue ending over here. Okay, so whatever is my what do you say, the screen size, it will pick pick that size, and it will show one section of that particular height. Okay, now this is useful when you have a website like this. Okay, I'll show you one of our projects, what we have done. This is just a demo website. Okay, okay, so if you see this particular, now this is section number 1. Okay, okay, now what is happening is, in this particular section, in the background, what we have added is a video, and we have set the height of this particular section as fit to screen. Now that is the reason you are able to see this particular view or layout where you can't see anything else, and you just can see the video. And when I scroll, it takes you directly to the next section. Okay, it takes you directly to this next section, and you can just see that particular section. So this is the section number 2. Is also what we have done is we have put it as fit to screen. Okay, so this website is built on that lines, where you can just, when you just scroll once, it takes you to the particular next section. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so that is the use of fit to screen. Okay, or you can keep it default, and it will take the height according to your number of widgets available in that particular columns and everything. Also, you can do an alignment, whether you want everything on top or whether you want everything on the middle. Okay, here you can see when I clicked on middle, this particular widget came to the middle of that particular section. Okay, whether you want it on the bottom. Now here it's not happening because we have customized everything and we have given different settings for that particular widget. So that is the reason it is not happening on this particular side, but here it's happening. So you can choose whatever you want. Okay, I'll show you in the next tomorrow's class. I'll show you what is space between, what is space around, and what is space evenly. Okay, how you can use that. Also, I'll talk about overflow in the tomorrow's lecture. So this is something depending on the layout. Okay, also you have an option to change the structure from here of that particular section. Okay, whether you want to change it to something like this, or you can just drag and drop as I have shown you. Okay, now apart from this, you also have option for that particular section, right? Now we have already seen what are the different options in the layout. Now under styling, you have options or to give background images, background gradient, or background video, or background slideshow for that particular section. Okay, now say for example you have a particular YouTube video which you have already created for your website, and you want to show it on the front page, just like how they have shown over here, right? So whether they have custom made this particular video. So similarly, you can just click on this video and just put the video link over here, and there will be a background video which will run throughout when your customer comes to your website. Okay, so these are the different options, and similarly you can just hover around and do the settings for hover. When someone hovers, what is the different settings that should happen. Okay, apart from that, if you have banners, you can just choose this option, slideshow, and you can choose multiple banners which you have uploaded into the media library, and you can do the settings for that, whether you want infinite loop, or what is the duration that each slide should remain. If you keep 1000, that means you are keeping each slide for uh, 1 second. Okay, so this is milliseconds. Okay, so if you want to keep a particular slider for say like 3.5 seconds, you just have to type 3500. Okay, now similarly you can just go ahead and choose whether you want an auto cover and everything. So these are the options. What when you will go and do hands-on practice, you will get to know more about this settings and everything. Ken Burns effect is a zoom in zoom out effect, what you get to that to your banners and everything. Okay, so you can use this background. You have an option of background overlay where you can control the overlay settings for the background. You have an option for border. Now apart from that, you have something called a shape divider. Now, just sometime before I showed you that wireframe, right? Let me just show you again something this, right? Now here, if you see in the first section, they have a curved round border, right? Now this is something called as shape divider. Okay. Now shape dividers can be used for each sections. Okay. Just type in. You can choose any particular section, go to style and choose a shape divider, and whether you want it on the top or the bottom. And you can click on bottom and you have multiple options over here. Say for example, something like this. Choose the color. Okay. Invert. Okay, let me do it in a new one. Okay, I'll go to style. I'll just choose a plain color, right? And just go down to shape divider. Click on bottom. Click on, say for example, zigzag. Choose the width. Let me increase the height. Let's say minimum height, something like this. So if you see this particular section has a wavy kind of a shape divider. Okay, similarly, you can just go ahead and choose depending on your style and whatever that you have want for your website. Okay, say for example, if you want a triangle, you can just go ahead and change the triangle. Okay, you can control the height and width, or if you want something called as clouds, you have an option of clouds as well. Okay, so these are the different options that you have under shape divider. Now shape dividers are available for top and bottom as well. Okay, maybe you want tilt. Okay, something like this. So you can give a shape divider on top as well as on bottom of each section. Okay, depending on the kind of layout that you want to create. Now, apart from this, typography is similarly, if you set the typography for each section, all those widgets under that particular section will take the settings of that. Or you can just go ahead and give custom settings for each widgets as well. Okay. Now, apart from this, you also have advanced options, which we'll see in the later class. Okay, so these are the different settings of layout, style, and everything. Okay, so let's quickly jump. So we have seen what are the different widgets, right? Any doubts so far, guys? Just let me know in the chat. Any doubts so far? Have you understood about sections, columns, widgets? We'll ask at the end. Okay, okay, okay. So we have already seen this, right? We have seen the section and we know now how to handle each section. For section to be handled, we can see click on those. Nilima ma'am says no, seems quite tedious. No, this is actually the basic thing. Once you understand how to uh, play around with sections, columns, and widgets and their settings, it will be a fun ride, and you can create. Now I'll show you another method also in the coming days. In the next days, how you can use different templates and ready-made templates, how you can use those and create your website within just minutes. Okay. Now this I have given so much pressure over here because these are the basic things. Once you understand these things, then you can just play around anyhow you want. Okay. So in this slide, you can see these are the sections. So whenever you want to handle the section, you can click on this. Whenever you want to handle any column, you can click on that particular uh, column settings. And whenever you want to handle any widgets, you can click on this particular blue pencil icon. Okay. Now you also seen that how you can do edits by right clicking on that particular section, column, or that widget, right? Yes. Now just one more main thing. Okay. What is an inner section? Okay. Now when you were doing all these things, okay, in the widget panel, there is something called as inner sections. Okay. Now, apart from this inner section, all the others are widgets. So basically headings, images, when you want to add text editor, whether you want to add video button, you just have to drag and drop. Now, what is this inner section? So inner sections when you just drag and drop, you can drag and drop this in any column that you want. Okay. When you drag and drop any particular inner section, you get two different columns or a full section inside a column. Okay. Now you would ask me, why is inner sections required? Okay. Now let me just give you an example over here. Now in this particular section, what I've done over here is I've gone ahead and added a text widget, right? Or a heading widget. Now I'll add another heading. Now when I just drag and drop this, I only get an option to add either on top or on bottom of that particular widget, which is already present in that column. Or I have to go ahead and add it in a different column. But what if I wanted to add something towards the right of this particular widget in that same column? So that is the case when you can use this particular widget. Now these mostly are used in particular, say for example, a hero image. Okay, hero image or the first section that you see where you have different. Okay, let me just quickly show you an example. So say for example, there are two columns like this, and let me just go ahead and change to none. Okay, now I have a text over here, a heading, and there is a small description, right? So in this particular section, I have a heading and a description, and I have a button. Say for example, I'm creating a hero section or a first section like this, something like this. But maybe I have given over here something called as contact us, and I want to give one more button to the right of this button, which says book an appointment or make a payment or something like that. So at that point of time, what you can use an inner section like this. Okay, just drag and drop. When you do this, you get two columns or a full particular section inside a column. Okay, and I just have to drag and put this button in this, and I can go ahead to the widgets panel and add a new button in the next column. Okay, so I get something design something like this. Okay, whereas if I didn't had inner section, I just had an option only to uh, put it on top or on bottom of any particular widget. That was the only option that was available. So Elementor, uh, last maybe they introduced this in the last year, and this is a very good option for all the developers and designers, and it gives you more options and freedom to do and customize each section and columns. Okay, and you can design it very well. I'll show you live examples also in the coming lectures where you will see how you are using these options. Okay, so the blue section inside columns are inner sections. Okay, now you also have different settings for that. Okay, when you click on the 6 dots, you again get options for that inner section as well. Be it layout, be it style, and be it advanced. Okay, you can control all the options just like any other section, columns, or widgets. Okay, and we have already seen this navigator, right? So there is a navigator option over here. So whenever on the top, you can just see this button. You can click on this. So once you click, it will close all the sections. If you click it again, it will open all the sections and show you what are the different columns, headings in each section that is available. Okay. Also, it helps you to drag and drop. Say for example, now this particular uh, section, okay, this particular section I wanted below, and this particular section number 3, okay, I want it on top. So what I can do is I can just drag it and drop from here. Okay, now when I just drag it and drop from here, you can see it came to the top. Okay, you can drag and drop any particular section to the top or bottom using this navigator quickly. Okay, so this just came down. So that's how you can use this navigator. Also, it helps you to give the names as well. Okay, say for example, this is a header. Okay, and maybe this is a about a section. So it gives you a quick glimpse what are the different sections that you have created and how you can change all those, etc. Okay. Also, there is a eye icon over here. Say for example, you don't want to show this to your customers. You can always click on this icon and it will just hide it out. And your customers won't be able, or your website users won't be able to see that particular uh, what do you say the section. Okay, so you can control it from here. Also, there are different options available. I'll show you in the coming lectures that those options are available in the advanced tab. Okay, so that's about Navigator. You can rearrange elements, you can right click options, hide or show elements, name the elements, etc. Okay, apart from this, you also have devices preview. Today what I'm just doing is I'm just making you known to all the elements that is available in the front end. Okay, here you have an option of responsive mode towards the in the bottom left. Okay, once you click over here, you can see what are how this website is when you see it in a tab mode or when you see it in a mobile mode. Okay, and you can customize it accordingly as well. So tomorrow, in the tomorrow's lecture, what I'll show you is how you can design a page. Okay, and how you can customize it for tablets differently and how we can customize it for mobiles differently. So what in tomorrow's workshop, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and create a full page template. Today what I've done is I've just shown you how you can add sections, add columns, add widgets, etc. Right. So in tomorrow's workshop, what we'll do is I'll go ahead and show you the full wireframe and how we can go ahead and create those particular sections and how we can customize each section differently for mobile as well as tablet mode. Okay, so you can click on desktop and come back for to the desktop mode. So that's the devices preview option that is available. And then there is also a revision history option that is available just next to the responsive mode option. There is a history button. Okay, now whatever changes you have done, you can see it over here. See, section moved. I changed the column width. I added a button. I added another button. So it's just like Control Z, which happens on Microsoft Word, right? Whenever you did some changes, and if you didn't want to do that changes, you can just do an undo, right? But by clicking on Control Z, similarly here also you can just click on Control Z, and you can do an undo of one step back. Okay, or you can click on History and click on the previous step, and you can see all those changes happening. Okay, see here, I had added two buttons over here in this particular inner section. So if I go back one step, it will remove one. If I go back one more step, it will remove the other, or it will remove the inner section which had been added, right? Similarly, you can to go back all the steps. Okay, and you also have a revisions tab. Revisions tab are basically, say for example, you created a web page layout today. Okay, and 2 days later you come back and you want to revert any particular changes, you can do a revision also. How you go back? Okay, so here on the bottom, just next to the responsive mode, you have a history tab, a history button. So when you click on that, you just have to click on this. So whenever actually what happens is whenever you add any particular widget, okay, say for example, I'm adding a icon over here in this particular column. So it it gets captured over here. See, icon added. Okay, say for example, I go ahead and add one more, maybe a counter. Okay, something like this. So if you just go and check the history tab, it will get added. So history tab keeps a check of what are the things that you're doing in the web page. And if at all, at any point of time, you want to revert back and uh, you don't want this counter or something, you can always go ahead and delete it, or you can go ahead and go back one step from here. You just have to click on the icon added. So it will get the counter that has been added last will get removed. Okay. So you can use this actions tab. Okay, revisions tabs are for uh, what do you say? Today you have created a web page, you save it and go, you close everything and you go back, and then later you do another change. And if you want to revert back, then you can go back to a later, a previous date. Okay, say for example today is 15th of February, and you want to revert back your changes to a design which you had created on 10th of February. You can do that as well in the revisions tab. Okay, right now there are no revisions being shown because this is just a fresh page what we have created, and we have not yet published this page. Okay, once I click on publish, today's it will show today's date, and when I come the next time, I can go back and do all the changes what had happened on today. Okay, so that is revision history undo and redo tab. Okay, so I'm not taking this topic what is margins and paddings because this is a little bit advanced. Okay, so far we have completed the basics and the know-how of what are the different options available when you come and click on edit with Elementor. So you now know about sections, you know about columns, you know about widgets, what are the different widgets available, and what are the different settings available for each widget, columns, and sections, right? And now you know about inner section, how you can see check the responsive mode, how you can check the history, and how you can navigate easily through the navigator option. Okay, so that brings to an end of today's first class. Okay, if you have any doubts or something, you can go ahead and ask me.
Hi, Jackson.
Hi, Suresh, tell me.
Yeah. So my first question is, even themes have like a certain design element already
Okay,
along with it. And why do we use like a website builder or something like an Elementor? If themes already have it, why a website builder?
because we can customize each and every option. No, in theme, what happens is, see now you would when you go ahead and go to themes and click on add new and go and type. Say for example,
Mm-hmm.
you're creating a grocery website. Okay, a
Okay.
website which sells grocery. So if you just type grocery in the themes option and the add new themes thing, you will get hundreds of themes which are created for grocery. Okay, but in
Okay.
that what will happen is the settings that you can do will be very limited, or will be limited to only what the theme provider gives you.
Okay.
You won't be maybe you won't be able to put a custom header, maybe you won't be able to put a custom footer. What you can just do over there is just change the text to maybe about us to about, or very minor changes. With a custom with a page builder and a website builder, you can customize each and every option that is available. Okay, now using Elementor, you can create a custom page, you can create a custom header,
Right.
custom footer, custom pop-ups, right? You can create pop-ups where you can capture leads and lead forms, and you can capture the data for, maybe you're selling a free, giving a free ebooks and everything. Apart from this, if you want to create a custom blog page, etc., or a single page. Okay, say let me just show you an example. Okay, you can see this website,
Yeah.
jacksonmerchant.com. Yeah, so in this is the blog page, right? Okay, now this is one pop-up form which has been created with Elementor, right? So you can put custom image, put custom titles, you can collect the name and data and click on download. So when someone clicks on download, only then they'll be given this checklist, right?
Right.
Also, if you see this blog page, what has happened is I have created a custom blog page. Okay, so what I have done is I show you the latest post first, the latest two posts. Then if you scroll down, then you will see all the blogs and articles. And on towards the right hand
Okay.
side, you will see follow me, all the categories and everything. If you are using a theme, this is how it will be, right? You will just get a
Yeah.
normal sidebar with the normal features and everything. You won't get options like this to customize everything. So that's the plus point of using a page builder, Elementor page builder.
So eventually, with the way Elementor is progressing,
Mhm.
won't we need themes at all in the future?
Themes are required because themes basically handles the styling to a very minimal level. Okay, there is one basic default theme which you have to use. Okay, now that is the reason Elementor has uh, came up with their own theme. Okay, that's called as Hello Elementor. Okay, you can use
Right.
that option. So when you put that theme, there will be no options available actually. It's it would be just for the namesake that you're adding a theme, and rest everything you can do it inside Elementor. So the best supported themes for Elementor can be Astra, their own Hello Elementor theme. Then you can have Generate Press, you have Ocean WP,
Right.
you have Cadence theme. So all these are some of the major themes which provides 100% compatibility with Elementor, and you can use those themes.
So
What else?
another thing, just to sum up,
Hmm.
so there are sections. Inside sections, we have columns.
Hmm.
Inside columns, we'll have inner sections or inner columns,
Yes,
right? Inner columns or inner sections.
inner
Sorry,
sections, inner sections.
so inner section is inside a column, basically.
Inner sections
Is
is inside
inside
a
a column.
column. It can't be
Okay.
inside a
And
section. It has to be inside a column.
okay. And we can drop the widgets in the columns only. We
Yes.
can't drop a widget into a section,
No, you can't
or
drop
we
a
can.
widget into a, no, you're not able to. I mean, even if you drag and drop anyhow, you won't get an option to put it inside a section. You have to put it inside a column only, whether be it
Okay.
column inside a intersection or the normal column. But you have to put it inside a column only.
Okay.
What else?
Done then. Done for today. Maybe once we see things which like we have seen this stuff, but something to
Right,
correlate. I mean, what
right.
you're
So that
teaching, and
is
then
so
yeah, yeah.
today
Maybe
what I have
after a
shown.
few, like,
Right. So today what I have shown you is how it works basically, and what are the different options available. Just today, what
perfect.
you do is just know what is a section, what is a column, and what is a widget and intersection, and what are the different options, and where are the different options available. That's it. That's
Right,
the only motto
right,
for today. So tomorrow, what we'll
right,
do is we'll design a WordPress page with Elementor, and we'll
right,
go ahead and create a full page where you have a banner, where you have an about us section, where you have a testimonial section, where you have a contact us form. All those are full homepage kind of a layout where you will understand it more, and I'll show you exactly the way how we do it. No? So
done,
you'll
done,
understand
done,
it much more better.
done.
What
Thanks,
else?
thanks, thanks,
Oh,
Jackson.
sorry. Yeah, Nilim. Yes, tomorrow
Yeah,
we don't
I'll
have a.
go off later.
Yeah, tomorrow we don't have a lecture again because we are all a part of HITSU, and tomorrow there is Sanjay's webinar. So tomorrow there won't be a lecture. So we'll meet on Wednesday 8 p.m. same time. Okay. So apart from all these things, anyone wants to ask any other questions? You can go ahead and ask any doubts, anything you have, anything that is not clear, any any particular feedback for me regarding the PDF slides or regarding the way of teaching, anything. It's an open forum. I If everything is clear, then let's just put a clear in the chat box so that I know everything is clear and there is no questions. Oh, thank you. It was really easy going, made it much more interesting and smooth. Great. I want to remove my existing template from the blog. How shall I do it? Uh, just after this, let's connect one-on-one and I'll show you. Or maybe tomorrow also you will be able to see that how you can remove your existing template from the blog, and nothing much. It's a very quick and easy procedure. Yes,
So
Shailesh.
today's session was quite informational, Jackson. Only one thing,
Hmm.
if you can share, like, while going ahead, like on Wednesday, Thursday, or maybe in the last session or second last session, if you can share, like, right from, say, wireframe uh,
Hmm.
design, and then how from a wireframe you have converted like few websites. that would
Sure.
that would actually help us. Right now what's happening is it is getting quite difficult for maybe everyone, since it's a day
Right.
one.
Right.
And how from scratch things are getting converted is what everyone is thinking. How I can use it, how I
Right.
can
Right.
use
Right. I
this
do
on a
understand.
home page, or where I can. So that is
Yes.
maybe the issue. So if we
No
can
problem.
have something where you have built from scratch
Yes.
the
Yes. So
wireframe
that
of
is
a
the
certain
reason.
thing, and you
That is the reason I have chosen this domain. Okay. This was a fresh domain, no, which we have used, and we'll
yeah,
create a website
yeah,
for this particular uh, website. That is
perfect, perfect.
elementor.vinetdemo.com.
Yeah,
We'll create a website, a homepage, etc.
no
with that.
problem. Thanks,
Okay.
Jackson. Bye.
Okay, so then I have also given a small task for you guys, since this is a workshop. Okay, this is not a compulsory task. This is uh, for those who have time, because I know many of us are remaining with the assignment for tomorrow. Okay, and after tomorrow, if you get some time, go ahead and create. Just go ahead and install first the Elementor. Okay, I'll share the Elementor and Elementor Pro plugin with you guys on the email. Okay, and you can go ahead and install that. I'm sure you have seen how you can go ahead and install the file. I'll be sharing that both the files, the Elementor free version and the Elementor Pro version. Just go ahead and upload it, and everything will be good to go on your website. So you will have the options of Elementor as well as Elementor Pro. Okay. After that, you can go ahead and create a sections and add some widgets and give different stylings. Okay. Nothing like you have to create super solid sections and everything. Just add 2 3 sections, just add some columns, and just add some of the widgets, and try customizing that particular widget using this content and style option. With maybe you give a color change, maybe you give uh, change the typography or give a border and everything, just for practice. Okay, so maybe you can do that. So create a section with 3 columns, add some widgets, give different stylings, etc. And that's a small task. So do you have Elementor Pro agency bundle with you? Yes, I do have. I have an expert plan of 1,000 sites. The 250 projects, what we do, we all those projects, out of 250 projects, what we have done, 200 projects are done on Elementor. So I have an agency bundle of 1,000 sites. That is the expert plan. I'll share the Elementor Pro version with you, no worries. Yes, I'll be surely sharing the slides as well. So once we end up the session, uh, maybe it will take some time to the process the video of Zoom. So once that is done, I'll share the recording as well as the slide on your emails as well with the Elementor version, a Pro version. What else? What else? Are we done for the day? So that's the end of day number 1. See you. So not see you tomorrow. See you day after tomorrow at the same time. Do we kind of submit our task in any way? No, actually, Yashasvi. This is just for your practice. Okay. I don't have any cashback model as of such now for now. So nothing to submit. Just do some practice so that for the next session when you come, you know what are the different settings available and how, because I might at times probably think that you already know some about sections, columns, and all those widgets. Okay. So that's the end of the class. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's meet day after tomorrow at the same time. Uh, yeah. Ajay, hello. Ajay, are you there?